have also increased 0.5% and 10.5% respectively. Now, total volume of trades increased by 9.3% to 245.42 million units. It was valued at 4.59 billion naira and all transacted in 5,834 deals. Now we have Ambrose Omodion. He is the Chief Research Officer at Investdata Consulting Limited to tell us what is going down in the markets. Good morning, Ambrose.
Yeah, good morning.
Now we're back in the 47,000 level. Run us through quickly what is currently driving market sentiments.
Yeah, actually, I will tell you that the auditor result for 2021 was impressive. And I said it earlier on different programs that when results hit the market, the big boys who do the PFPs, they don't just jump into buying. They take time to analyze this result before they start taking position. As we speak now, they've done their due diligence on these numbers and they see potentials, and many of the stocks in the exchange are undervalued. They are now back to the market to take position ahead of Q1 number, knowing that we expect that this Q1 number also to take the trend of what we saw in 2021, knowing that the new cost push inflation was seen will impact much on the first quarter number, or less on this second quarter we're expecting at the end of June. For me, we are seeing a positive sentiment because we are seeing that most of the exchange and the value, that's the attraction in the market now. And also, despite that there was a little uptick in the fixed income market, we saw that that investors are not taking position more on equity to hedge against what inflation. After looking forward to see the inflation figure on Friday.
Now, can this positive sentiment, while we wait for inflation numbers to come out, can this positive sentiment be sustained, with inflation expectations this week?
Yeah, as big players who call them smart money continue to reposition their portfolio between now and the end of this month of April, we expect sentiment to be in the market. But don't forget that profit taking is part and part of the market anytime. Now we have seen a 3 days rally in the market. I expect that profit taking will come. That's why we expect a misspend between now and the end of the month. But for me, it will be a good market for us. Market has crossed back again, or index has crossed back again the 47,000 mark, which shows that there's strength in the market, and this strength is supported by what? By positive sentiment. For me, to sustain both the end of this week, but let's say before next week, before starting much number comment, like today now, we saw that United Capital released their Q1 number. That has given insight what to expect because the number was so fantastic that it beat analysts and investors' expectation. If that trend is maintained in most of the first quarter results we're expecting, this sentiment might likely last till end of March, end of April.
You're talking about the numbers already, the earnings season, which is right around the corner. Can you break down some of the important stock numbers ahead of this quarter, this period we're coming into?
In equity investment, you don't wait to see the number before you take position. And those that have done their due diligence, that have understand the market, have positioned before now. And now the numbers are hitting the market. Say that if the numbers are positive, push the price up. That's why you make money in equity trading. But as I said earlier, we expect that this Q1 number will be better than what we saw in the previous year because even the high cost of production that really hit the market around the late March won't affect the first quarter results much. But here in this second quarter, might see the impact. But don't forget that if also the companies are able to push this cost to the consumer, that means we're going to see even better number in Q2. It depends on the service and the product that's in focus. But I believe that investors should not panic. Despite what is happening in the global trend, let's focus on our market because we're seeing more funds enter the market as reviewed by our money flow index analysis that funds is coming back to the equity market, which is good to support the trend. But don't forget that as an investor, you don't wait to see the number before you invest. You invest before the number hit the market. And also, if you want to look at numbers that are very, very outstanding, look at their top line, must be above 15%, and above for you to say this is a strong number. And also, if you want to see the bottom line, it must be also above 15%. You see it's a good number, and also your EPS will be in that direction. Your margin, profit margin should be also above 10% to see that this stock also for company result is good. And like what we saw in Yoka that just came this morning, they grew their top line with almost 35%, and their bottom line with 39.16%. It's massively good for Yoka, and their earning per share for first quarter stood at 0.38 per share. For me, it's a good one for Yoka. That says that Yoka has shown that this is a well-managed company that investors should look the way of Yoka.
Okay, so just moving quickly to the fixed income space, we are going to have the NTB auction, that's the Treasury auction today. It's expected today. Do you think investors should start panicking? Probably they're going to be moving, funds to the fixed income space and probably shaking the equities markets. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, I don't see that happening because we have seen a positive trend, but profit taking might come up, but not because of the fixed income. Because yesterday, the market gained almost a 0.72. They know that ahead today is what the fixed income option, big option. Market still remains strong. You can see that the stocks that are even in the market these are blue chip stocks that are moving the market. You can see the life of MTN, Stepflat, and all Zenith Bank. These are stocks that has value. And investors that there's opportunity for them to make more money if they can stay put on time and before we start seeing the heat of the elections or political party. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ambrose Somodion, Chief Research Officer at Invest Data Consulting Limited. Thank you for coming on the program. Now, quickly to the fixed income market. We saw the bond space was a bit quiet yesterday, but we saw slightly bearish sentiments with investors. They continue to cherry pick high-yielding maturities there. Average yield rose marginally by 1 basis point for the 2026 maturity, that's 2026 paper, closing at 11.15% on the bid. Treasury bills market was pretty much not much activity there, pockets of demand, but it was not really very active. And it closed unchanged yesterday. Almost segment is pretty much the same. We're expecting the Treasury bills auction to take place today, and we're going to see how yields, probably is going to trend upward or trend lower. Today we'll tell at the end of the day. So, Ladi, that's what we have today.
Quite interesting. We see Omodian saying the big boys are taking position, in the equity space at this time. So we're seeing that. Buying pressure, coming into the market.
True.
All right, Will, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Now when we come back, we head to London. That's in a moment. Stay with us.